Alrighty, welcome back. I'm your man, Bad Chad. Queen Jolene's on the camera, and it's Friday. Today, we have some good news and not so good news. I'm going to start with the not so good news because we'll end it with the good news. The not so good news is we're supposed to be on the ferry going across to Maine. Our ferry got canceled because of the Storm Lee. We are going to Pinetree to race Jolene's race car. And that's not going to happen for us because of the storm. It only makes sense, not only makes sense, the ferry's been canceled, and we will not be taking that adventure, but we will be taking the venture to town. The good news is that the truck is ready, the race car is ready. Nathan came in and helped do everything on this to get it ready. He did a fantastic job. If we just want to walk around for a minute, I'll show you a lot of the stuff that he did or have done to get this thing ready. When we did it on YouTube, yes, we got the visual. The race car worked, the truck worked, but there was a lot more work to get it on the road. We put some D-rings on the bed of the truck to hold the car down. So we got D-rings all the way around to hold it down. If we come around the back, we used some lights that we had in the shop to get some signal lights. We got some signal lights and we used what we had. Nathan had to make all the brackets for hold all them lights. I went back down the back and stole some lights off the Packard for the tail lights. We got signal lights. If we just keep walking around here for a minute, the race car was all, what can I say, the wheel bearings were greased, the engine oil was changed, the spark plugs were changed. The points were tuned up. It really works good. Even putting an exhaust system on it, or straight through exhaust system on it, just to give it a little bit of back pressure. We've got a cherry bomb running there. We put that on. The rear end was put some oil in that, and there was nothing in it. The transmission was refilled again because it had dog poo in it. The truck itself, we got the exhaust system hooked up. We've got her plumbed into our muffler. The stacks are functional. If we come around front here, the truck was all gone over. He greased everything, wheel bearings up front, tightened the wheels. We've put a alternator on it. Wasn't quite sure that kind of a length of a trip we were going to trust the generator, so we got a 1-wire alternator on it. We got new wires, we got new plugs, we put a cap, rotor button, new ends for the battery cable. What else can I say was done to it? The brakes had a brake line that was bad on it, so we changed the brake line on it. Changed the flex line on it. Got it to run right, adjusted everything, got the points working really good, got the breather fitting on it. Just went over the whole thing actually to make it safe to do the journey. And I feel like it is safe to do the journey, but we're not going because of the storm. But it's still not going to stop us from driving the truck around. We're going to go take it into town this morning to do our, what can I say, getting storm ready. Jolene looks amazing this morning, absolutely amazing. She woke up at 7, hello darling, and she is my darling. But we got the race car on the back. We're going to take it for a run. We're going to take you with us. We were going to take you with us on the ferry across to Maine, but we are not doing that obviously. But let's go for a ride. See if I cannot shift this thing and make it not grind and go on and act like a fool. I think I've got it down a little bit. I think the answer is to shift it before I get going too fast, and also to double clutch it and just kind of be patient with it. Are we taking Fina with us? She just looked at me and gave me the big, yeah, we can take Fina with us, I guess, can we not? All right. Okay, so you're gonna sit in the middle, I guess, Fina. Huh? Looking at me like a, is that the saying, the lost puppy dog? Come on, Fina. Stay in a minute. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Stay there. Get that a girl. My queen Jolene's gonna hop in. When we first did this truck, the fenders were not applied on the truck. We did a bunch of work to the fenders. So in actual fact, Nathan wired the whole truck front to back. He got the headlights working. He got the signal lights working up front. He had to run all the wires all the way to the back and get all that done. There was quite a bit of work to it. Wow.
It starts good.
Oh, it starts really good. Let's go for it. We're running about 70 pounds oil pressure, it looks like. The temperature is not doing anything right now. I find that I'm hearing a little bit of a noise. I find the rubber that I put in between the stack and the truck cab corner gives a squeaking noise. Notice that? Other than that, I can't say much more than yeehaw! It's Friday. Taking the old truck and the car for town. Getting storm ready. No cars coming. We're gonna do it. It even tells you where to shift on the speedometer there. Come on, baby. I'll get some good in my baby. Huh? That was a little better. That was just a little fart. Got it. With us, Fiend? Huh? Happy to go with us? Yeah? Happy to go with us? No, you stay down, but I don't need no licks right now. Alright, girl. A pretty good descent when we get into Canning. I guess a descent, I mean down a hill. And this truck has fairly good brakes, so we should be good. Keep looking in the mirror to see if the race car is still there. Seems to be hauling it very good. For me, just getting the truck fit for the road and getting to drive into town, it's probably enough for me, but I didn't try to shift it down. We got good brakes on this bad boy. I guess, baby, I didn't try to shift it down because I probably would have had it grinding. And we're gonna do this slow roll second gear. Just a little bit of a you can see here on the speedometer, it kind of tells you when to shift. It doesn't mean it's not going to fart on you and grind and go on, but it does tell you when to shift. And when I was trying it the first time, I had the revs way up too high and was going way too fast to try to shift it. So if we were going to Yarmouth to get on the ferry, this would have been our first go at her. What do you think, Fiend? Huh? You like it? Yarmouth would have been for an everyday car, 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Probably would have took us 5 to 6. Probably. When we towed this truck home, we towed it on a car dolly behind us from St. John's. This thing was just jumping, wasn't it, baby? Sounds like it's roaring, but I barely got my foot on the accelerator. But it is what it is, I guess. Sorry if I roll down my window, be too much noise? Too much noise? Oil pressure's good, temperature's just starting to come out. Charging's looking good.
Gas gauge work?
Gas gauge isn't working right at the present moment. It did when I first put gas in it. I'd like that truck to stay where it's at. That'd be great. Thank you. far, so good, eh? Don't want to jinx us. Super Dave's coming into town. What?
What did Nathan do to fix the starter on the race car?
Didn't hear you.
What did Nathan do to fix the starter on the race car?
On the race car?
Yeah.
He just ripped it all apart and puts I think he put some new brushes or messed with the springs on the brushes because the brushes weren't hitting the, I don't know what you call it, the aperture in the middle of it. The brushers had to be touching and the spring was going. So he ended up tearing it all apart, using a bunch of pieces off different stuff and cleaning it. Now it don't sound like it's eating somebody. Now it just feels the car over pretty good. Happy about that. Got the points actually set, probably the best they've ever been set. Same with the truck, you can tell the way it started. And just Googled everything, you know, with the gap of the spark plugs, gap of the points, changing the oil and everything. I know why there was water in the oil now. Well, I left the race car and the truck outside for quite a bit. It obviously got rained on. A couple of the spark plugs we had in and out at the racetrack when we were racing it, or you were racing it, and they were not completely tight. So it let water down in the cylinder there somewhat. That's why the oil didn't look that great. And the oil in the transmission water must leak down in the transmission. The rear end just didn't have any oil. Likes the old cars too. Huh, Maine? Huh? You like the old cars too, don't you, huh? You like the old cars too, don't you? I'm quite impressed how Nathan's got the truck start. Just touch that button there, boom, she takes right off. Awesome. All the U-joints on the drive shaft were all greased. All the front end was greased. I was just happy and pleased with the maintenance that was taken on it for the trip. That's what I'm happy with. Thinking that we probably could have made it. And that was the deal, right? Didn't want to drive the whole way, but I would have driven as far as Yarmouth and got on the ferry. Still would have been a 2-hour drive from, well, it was how far from the racetrack from the ferry?
I think it said like an hour and a half.
No, and I would just double it. So if it was an hour and a half, I would have said it would have been another 3-hour drive. We would have had a good 8 hours driving in this thing, that's for sure. We would have just took our time. That rubber's squeaking on that stack. Did you?
No.
Like, you see some pictures on the internet sometimes have a truck like this with a load of cars on the back of it. Could you imagine trucking across the countryside with a load of cars on something like this? I'm sure they were a lot better at it than I am, but wow. Slow down, he says.
Traffic jam.
What?
I said we caused a traffic jam.
Traffic jam?
Yeah, behind
We got a traffic jam going on?
Yeah.
That's alright. Look at that fourth gear up that hill. No problem whatsoever. Boom. Nothing to it. I didn't like that. I'm trying to double clutch the damn thing. That wouldn't work. Drive this truck every once in a while to town with the race car in the back for fun. I can practice my shifting. Maybe even Jolene take a run in her, take a dryer.
I think I drove it in the back of you last summer.
What's that?
I drove it last summer.
Yeah, it's in the field. Yep. Jolene can drive her, that's for sure. No doubt in my mind. Actually quite nice to take a run in the truck instead of being in the shop on a Friday. It's supposed to take off, but Lee's not going to let us. And I'll gladly spend it with Jolene. My queen Jolene, gladly. We'll probably end up screwing some doors shut on the buildings and stuff. I got a little building on the side. Got to screw the doors shut on that. Probably do a little bit of work around the yard, trying to pick up some stuff that I think might blow away. But we got a little bit to do, and we'd be foolish not to. To get 100 millimeters of rain. I might even have to go up on the roof. We got a leak in the house yesterday. I might even go up on the roof and spread a little tar around trying to get a leak. I'm not sure what it is. I can't see any shingles missing, but you know how that goes. There's a hole, the water will find it. Our golf course getting revamped. Making some new holes by the looks of things. still want to get the truck and the car lettered up. But I got these brakes. I don't want to shove Jolene to the dash.
Poor Fina.
Huh?
Poor Fina. I'm gonna hold
Having a hard time standing up, is she?
I'm just gonna hold her back.
Ah. Here we go. We'll see if I can get this bad boy.
Jeez.
Got that one.
Good job.
A lot of foot action. I'm not used to double clutching anything, so this is my first experience at that. She rides like a wagon, don't it?
Yeah.
Slow roll, don't even have to shift her. Got a good lugging she does. Our local tow guy, Kelly's, might give me a job now. I wouldn't say I do too good on these gears, but oh, I gotta pay attention here. Did it, sweetheart. Trying to gear that thing down is not so easy. Come on, baby. There. Finally. All right, baby, I'm letting you out. You stay here with me, Fiend. All right, everybody. That's our first run to town. Me and Queen Jolene and the race truck and the race car. I didn't do so great on the gears, but I'll get better at it as I get going. But thanks a lot for coming along. We appreciate it. I hope Pinetree has an awesome time. And we're going to stay home and get storm ready and hope everybody stays safe. Like, comment, share, come back tomorrow, and we'll be here.